have in front of me a Standalone 4G fixed dome camera kit. Okay, so the basic idea of this is to have a single kit that is suitable for standalone applications to allow you to get remote access via your phone to an area that has no fixed landline connection. Okay, so typical applications of it would be for calving cameras, folding cameras, llama cameras, or indeed anybody who has a location, particularly if it's a mobile location, in which you want to have a setup, get your 4G connection, and even if you want to take down a kit and move to a new location afterwards, it's completely portable. So what we've done is we've integrated everything you're going to need here, including the SIM card. Okay, so what do you get in the kit and what options are there with it? Well, you get the router here, the TP-Link router we have. We have a SIM card here off the Tree network. The reason we went with that is there's no need to register it, and you can come along. There's no need to get into contracts, and it's very simple. You insert it, you get a 20 days allowance or 28 days allowance on it. So that's non-activated, but from the moment you insert it into the router, once it's powered on, it'll connect back into the 3G website and it'll activate the card automatically. We have the camera here. This camera is currently a 2 megapixel, 30 meter IR, varifocal dome, going from 2.8 over to 12 millimeter. Although that may change at a later point, but it'll be indicated on the product page on our websites. We have this 20 meter cable here, which is going to be a connection up to the camera directly from the router, and we're going to do it via these PoE injectors, and that's to save having to mount the power unit directly next to it. The one option we're giving here on it is we're saying that you can use this MIMO 5 dB gain aerial with it, and where you'd use that is in conjunction with the actual router here, and it's that if the signal that came at the router wasn't powerful enough in terms of these little aerials, you can actually go for a more powerful one, and it works extremely well. In our tests we've done, we've been able to boost, we'll say, our indoor download speeds here from about 8 meg up to about 20 meg. So it's very, very successful to that extent. Not always necessary, but we've given it as an option because a lot of people maybe will want to go with it. Okay, so let's come along and we'll just put the kit together as if we were assembling it. So what I'm going to do here is I have the router here. I've come along and I've put in my SIM card, plugged it in. This power unit, of course, comes with this. I've plugged it in and it's activated at this point in time. So what I would do then is I would grab my 20 meter cable here. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this PoE injector. So I'm going to take a feed from the back of the router here. So this is giving me my broadband connection. And I'm also going to come along and I'm going to connect in the power unit that we're going to use for powering not the router but rather the aerial. We plug it in here. So effectively we've two inputs into this PoE injector. We've the internet side and we also have the power side. So we have this cable coming out of here, and for this demonstration I'm going to pretend this is a 20 meter cable. We come along and this is supplying both the LAN connection and also the power to power the camera here. Okay, so when we go to the far end of this PoE injector, we'll split it back out into its two component parts. So one will be the LAN connection and the other part here is our power connection. So suddenly now everything we need for this camera is being powered directly here. So we can imagine, we'll say, that we have power in the shed, we'll say, and we come along and we plug this router in and we plug in the power unit for the camera right beside it. And then we have a 20 meter range from there where we can mount the camera where it'll be getting both data and power directly from this. And we've discovered, we'll say, that we know from testing, we'll say with our mobile phone, that reception area isn't great. We can say, what we'll do is we'll mount this securely inside, but what we're going to do is we're going to mount this outside here, and I think it's just two 5 meter cables with this. And how this works in relation to the aerials here is that you would unscrew the aerial connections that are here, and you would take the SMA connectors that are on these. So there's small little connectors that are on the far end of this here. So this is one connection here, for instance, and you just screw it in. So they're completely interchangeable here. So you screw one in this side, one in the other side, and all of a sudden, instead of using this to boost the signal, they're using this to boost the signal. So that's a cool option that comes with it then. So the other video that's in our thing is where we'll actually come along and we'll show you how you would download the app onto your phone, configure it, and get it to work specifically with this camera here. So there's really only 2 steps to it. There's the physical part to it, and then there's the setup on your phone part of it as well. But that's a pretty straightforward process. And it's just exactly what we're trying to achieve in terms of trying to give people the flexibility to say, I just want to buy a kit and do this on it, okay? So it just gives a great standalone option to people. Saves it, means that there's a sort of an off-the-shelf product that will solve their problems in terms of for calving, foaling, lambing, or indeed for mobile businesses that are trying to get a monitoring on a particular unit, something like that. They'll be able to do this while having it off the main network to equally be able to monitor it.